Lagos 8 Assembly holds special parliamentary session to mark 3rd anniversary. Lagos Assembly hosts Nigeria's Vice President at the 3rd anniversary of its 8th Assembly. We have details coming up. The much talked about 3rd anniversary of the Lagos 8th Assembly finally came. Expectations were high as eminent personalities thronged the hallowed chambers of the legislature venue of the event. This is Lagos Parliament. It's nice to have you join us. I am Abimbola Baby. It promises to be an exciting one.
Get closer to your legislators. See them in action as they deliberate on moving the state forward. Watch updates on weekly events, presentation of bills, passage of laws, adoption of resolutions, and many more. Also, get a chance to meet the lawmaker of the week and watch the legislators. Observe plenary in Yoruba language. Lagos Parliament, every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. on TVC News Nigeria. Lagos Parliament, bringing the legislature closer to you.
It's been a wonderful 3 years of this tenure, and we have to actually commend the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa, who is actually a real team player. You know, he's a house of 40, he's first amongst equals, and he has done a fantastic job. We're all privileged to be here. You know, we're not the best in the world, but God has chosen us to represent the people of the different constituencies. And I want to believe that we have tried our best. So far, so good. We have continued to make laws that will make life better for the people of our state. And we have also made sure that as our oversight functions, which is part of our duties, we make sure that we look into the different ministries to see what they're doing, commend them where we need to commend them, condemn whatever is wrong that they do, and make sure that they make it right. And I think that is why, you know, we're legislators, 3 arms of government, judiciary, executives and legislators. We have to work together, you know, to make sure that, you know, not only do we do our jobs as individuals, sometimes we work together to make sure that the people of Lagos State that have voted us into office get the best of democracy. And I think that is what is important. It's not just to say I'm a legislator, therefore don't cross the line. Sometimes there are gray areas there where, you know, some of the work we make sure we do the oversight. It's not just to say, okay, we've made the laws and the executives should implement. We must make sure that they do it right. And so far they have been doing a fantastic job. So far, so good.
Of course, it's worth celebrating. You see, when you say education is expensive, try ignorance. If you say peace is expensive, try violence. A lot of things could happen. Anything can happen at any time. The fact that we are even together, the fact that we are even marching ahead, that the fact that we are doing what we are supposed to be doing for the past 3 years without let or hindrance, except for the one dark cloud on the sky, which is the death of one of us, late Honorable Kazim Ademola, may God rest his soul. Apart from that one, there has not been any other terrible, unsavory event and occurrence. So it's what us coming together, reviewing the past, repositioning for the future while assessing the present.
I feel great. I feel happy with the array of people that have come to speak to us. The Vice President is here, several governors are here, and they're going to tell us the home truth. So we're very, very excited. And of course, we're also cautious because I know they're going to speak to us in very hard times.
It's not an easy task, and we need to thank God because we have over 22 million Lagosians. If you have been chosen to represent them, you should thank Almighty Allah. But so far, so good. It's been a wonderful tenure, and I thank God for what God has done for us. I thank God for the House. I thank God for the leadership of the House because they've been able to lead us. I thank God for the leadership of the party. They've been able to guide us. So it's been a wonderful one.
We're celebrating. It's been a great session for us at the Lagos State House of Assembly, and it's also an opportunity for us to continue to enrich our democratic setting. And that's what we're doing today, not just celebrating like that. We're trying to enrich our democratic setting in Nigeria. And this is a worthy celebration. Not so much in times of lawmaking, in times of motions that we've passed, in times of even the budget passage and also. So we've done a lot. Our achievement is, we keep getting better on a daily basis.
I've really worked for 3 years out of 4. I think it's something we should celebrate and not just to mark the time, but also to look at various landmark achievements these 8 assemblies has achieved. So I think it's worth celebrating, and we should really make big noise about it.
Look at it, we have cause to glorify God for His mercy. And based on that, the only thing that God will accept from us is to give thanks and praises to Him when the need be. So we are using this period to thank God and give praises to Him for making us to see this day and for making us to achieve so monumental development in Lagos State.
This is a whole lot, you know, and if you really want to know the gravity of 3 years, it's like assessing a child, you know. A 3-year-old child should be talking now. A 3-year-old child should know his rights from his wrongs. So it's something that worth, celebration. So it's something I personally want to give the Almighty God every glory and honor that we are given this opportunity to legislate on behalf of the great people of Lagos State.
I want to appreciate the Almighty God that really gave us the grace to really mark another 3rd year in the legislative work at the Lagos State Assembly. Having the Vice President in our midst is a kind of omobawale, because before now the Vice President had been part of the cardinal point that brings a lot of development initiative to Lagos State. And with His mercy of God, He has now at the federal level. So coming home is to come and bring us the depth knowledge and experience that he has acquired over time.
Lagos is being noted for good things, so that is my expectation. We are noted for excellence, and we are the center of excellence. All what we are asking for Lagos State to be given its rightful position in the whole of Federation. We continue to wish them the good luck. The interaction that have been existing between the legislatives, the judiciary, and the executives is a good thing in the right direction. I wish them the best of luck.
Absolutely. Every day of democracy is worth celebrating. I'm not talking about the 3rd day. And now we're talking about the legislature. And the legislative arm, for me, is probably the most important arm of any democracy. It is the live wire, the backbone, the fulcrum of any democracy. And so far in the last 3 years of this particular session, I think they've done pretty well. The quality of laws that have been passed have been laws that should inure to the benefit of the citizens. So it's not we're not celebrating the state assembly. We're not celebrating the members. We're celebrating democracy, and we're encouraging them to do more. This is just the 3rd year. Next year is an election year, and I hope and I pray and I even believe that between now and next year, they will even do more, even though their attention is going to be focused more on politics. But I believe the caliber of lawmakers we have in this assembly will even, between now and next year, before the elections, will even do more. And so, yeah, it's something that we need to celebrate.
There are some House of Assembly that you cannot really say what they've done there. I was reading somewhere that in 3 years, one House of Assembly passed only 20 laws. You can't say that of Lagos State. I don't exactly know the number of laws they've passed now, but I know it is way beyond that kind of number. And the Speaker has done so much very well. He's done very well. He's kept the House together. He's moving them forward. And it's worth celebrating. Also, we are alive. We should thank God that we are alive.
The third anniversary of the Lagos 8 Assembly forecast on the theme, Strengthening Legislative Institutions, Panacea for Enduring Democracy. Nigeria's Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, former Speaker, House of Representatives Alhaji Gali Nahaba, led other discussants in doing justice to the topic.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable members, there is no message from His Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State.
Any other announcements?
None, Mr. Speaker,
Petitions?
sir. None, sir.
Matter of urgent public importance? Personal explanations? Reports? Business of the day. Majority Leader.
Business of the day is the special parliamentary session in commemoration of the third year anniversary of the 8th Assembly. We therefore to move that Order 114 of the House that allows strangers to participate in the debate of the Assembly be activated. I so move.
The third anniversary of the Lagos 8 Assembly kicked off on a historic note with the arrival of Nigeria's Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, and his entourage. Eminent personalities from different parts of the country, which included governors of Osun, Oyo, and Lagos, members of the House of Representatives, were all seated in the hallowed chambers to witness the occasion. Proceedings kicked off with thoughts spared for residents of the state who lost their lives to tragedy that struck on the 28th of June.
Led to the deaths of so many and destruction of so many vehicles. In view of this, we deem it fit and necessary to observe a minute silence in their honor. May I appeal to all of us to rise for a 1 minute silence. Thank you, Mr. Clark.
Lagos Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, wasted no time in reeling out the achievements of the 8th Assembly in the last 3 years.
I'm proud to say that this House, since its inauguration on June 8, 2015, has passed into laws 28 bills with over 100 resolutions. In the legislative year under review, we continue to blaze the trail in formulating laws for the benefit of the good people of Lagos State and in the promotion of a truly inclusive, participatory, open, and people-oriented democracy.
With so much excitement in the air, Governor Akinwumi Ambode also joined the lawmakers in welcoming the number 2 citizen of the country to the legislature.
I'm delighted to be, your guest this evening, and I'm coming to my neighbor's house. I'm made to because this hallowed chamber is the next residence to where I live, so we're neighbors. Apparently, I'm the only tenant that lives in this axis. Every other person walks here and they go away, so I'm so delighted to be here. I like to also use this opportunity to welcome Mr. Vice President back home, just the same way the Right Honorable Speaker said. We're very excited to have you in this particular hallowed chamber.
Guest Speaker, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo kicked off his speech with condolence messages to the families of victims of the Teodola Bridge tragedy.
Ladies and gentlemen, first let me say how, and perhaps before I begin, to express my sincere condolence to His Excellency the Governor of Lagos State and the Right Honorable Speaker, as well as the government and people of Lagos State on the terrible disaster that occurred yesterday. And I express my condolence on behalf of Mr. President and also all of the Nigerian people. I pray that we'll never again see a recurrence of this type of tragedy. In Jesus' name, amen.
In his lecture, it took his time to clearly spell out the roles of the legislature, the executive, and the state, among other issues.
Let me begin by saying how very deeply honored I am by this kind invitation to be here. It's an enormous honor to have been invited to speak at all in this place of history. It's history-making place and a place of lawmaking. Just as you have said, Right Honourable Speaker, I've been here twice before, and as you pointed out, both for confirmation hearings as a commissioner designate on both occasions, once in 1999 and the other in 2003. But between 1999 and 2007, I was here several times, defending budgets, watching presentation of budgets, and very often trying to negotiate my way through with the very honorable members of the House of Assembly. But at each and every one of those occasions, the sheer importance of the legislative function as a pivot of our democracy has never escaped me. Indeed, as has been said, and I say this and it's not original, of the three organs of government, the place of primacy belongs to the legislature. The function of government begins by lawmaking and is followed up by law enforcement and adjudicatory functions. As such, the legislature is the first organ of government. End of quote. This occasion is an auspicious one, the third anniversary of the 8th Assembly, and it comes at a time of great challenges and even more incredible opportunities for our nation and for this state, which is most populous and the center of commerce, not just for our nation, but also of Africa's largest economy. From the theme, and the theme is strengthening legislative institutions, a panacea for enduring democracy. I have chosen a topic, and I was told that I was allowed to do so by the kind grace of the Right Honourable Speaker. I've chosen a topic which in some senses is a sub-theme of that very broad topic, and it is stronger states and the eradication of poverty. Stronger states, or a stronger state and the eradication of poverty. My reason for this choice is from the recognition of the fact that the legislature is no longer in modern democracies an island. Indeed, it is the crucial gateway and the interlocutor to the most important concerns of those who brought us here. In our case, the Nigerian electorate. Those concerns revolve around a simple issue. That is, how do we survive? How do we make a living for ourselves? How do we make a decent living for ourselves? And how do we ensure that ourselves and our families live stable and secure lives? That is the central question that the electorate poses to us. And that is the central question that occupies the minds of government. And of course, the legislature being at the center of government. Perhaps the most important business of governments today is the creation of an environment that conduces to the reduction of poverty by the creation of wealth, jobs, and opportunities. It's my thesis that the important structural change that we can make in Nigeria is to speedily eradicate poverty. And this is best achieved, in my view, by stronger states, by creating states that are stronger. And when I refer to states, I'm referring to the legislature, which is the center of the state, the executive, and of course the judiciary.
Top on the list of issues it touched on was the rising insecurity in the country. Oshibajo believes that the creation of state police is the solution to the endless killings and bombings going on in the country.
As I close, that the issue of security is one that, of course, is crucial, not just for all of our people, but is possibly the most important function of government. There is no way that we can possibly expect to have commercial activity or expect to have social activity in the way that will be satisfactory or in the way that will be safe if we cannot guarantee security. But in guaranteeing security, the role of governments, the role of the state governments, the role of the state judiciaries and legislature are crucial. The federal government, of course, has the overarching role of ensuring that the police work, that the army do their jobs, and that the other security agencies do their jobs. But we have argued repeatedly, and I believe that is the position of our party, that you cannot police a country of this size with a police command that functions out of Abuja. It's just impossible. You must have a state police.
We thank the Vice President for the excellent job done. You've been able to estray the powers of the legislatures and its functions and the successes that have been recorded through the use of instruments of law by the state legislature, and at the same time to present to us the efforts of the federal government in ensuring eradication of poverty. We wish you good luck.
Agege one, Obasa ló jẹ́ speaker kórí jẹ́ ọpẹ́. Pẹ̀lú deputy speaker mi.
To save time, I will call on our discussants, the former Speaker of House of Representatives, Honorable Omar, Right Honorable Omar Daba, to come forward. We'll come to that.
And let me say that some of us regard some of you that have refused to formally join politics as wise men, just as Socrates put it. And Socrates said that the wise men that refuse to participate in the affairs of the communities, of their communities, you know, the punishment for the wise for not participating in the affairs of their communities is ruled by the fools among them. In the world, we are governed by the laws of contradictions, the laws of opposite, and that unless some of us say yes and some of us say no, will not go anywhere. If everybody will answer yes, there will be no cause for any work. So we have contradictory opinions about our path to development. So whatever we say or we do, you know, is not to just criticize, but to provide a platform for us to ensure progress for our country.
Without wasting time, we still have a few people to make remarks, and I'll be calling on our leader, the governor of Osun State, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola. You want to exercise your membership?
Yes. What we can say is that the Almighty God will continue to support Lagos by bringing about leaders that know what to do to sustain the level of excellence that Lagos has attained in Nigeria. Of course, I must recognize Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And the reason for so doing is not really because we are friends. It's because he has shown the world that leadership is the sole essence of life. When you have the right leader, success is almost routine. Asiwaju has demonstrated the meaning of leadership. May God, in His infinite mercy, give him a very long life to lead us, so that those of us coming behind him can at least have the right guide or guidance from him and infuse our nation with the leadership that will translate and transform our nation to the greatest height that history has destined it for. It's a parliament. A parliament is the panel of grievances. This is the portal where every citizen has the right to pour out his mind on any issue, on any that. And that is why some of us believe so ardently that the most important instrument of democracy is the parliament. Representation the live representation that the Parliament provides cannot be replicated anywhere outside the Parliament. And that is why the Parliament is so important, if not sacrosanct, for the survival of democracy.
On behalf of the Right Honourable Speaker, my colleagues, management and staff of the House of Assembly, we want to say a very big thank you to the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, for making up time out of his tight schedule to be here as the key lecturer to deliver today's lecture. We are indeed very grateful, sir. Kindly extend the greetings of the Right Honourable Speaker to Mr. President for keeping faith in the Nigerian project and giving hope to the common man on the street. We want to thank you all. Adelibayo Arinokorio. Thank you
very much.
With other speakers addressing similar issues, the event came to an end with the cutting of the anniversary cake.
And with that, it's a wrap on this week's episode of Lagos Parliament. We thank you for watching. So let's see you again next week. Remember, you can watch previous episodes of the program on www.youtube.com/TVSeries Nigeria. I am Abibola. See you next week.